which involves rubbing scantily clad rival girls after you've defeated them using the 3DS touchscreen.
All right, so who plays these?
Everyone.
Everyone. So this is a huge market then.
It really is a huge market, and a lot of people who say they don't play them actually do. But it's going to be in America, in the Western world, not as much, I will say, because Japan makes like
all that hentai porn games
of porn games. And these are the ones especially that have, the stories, all the interactions, the JRPGs, the builders, everything. They're the ones that really do it right. So
is that why men in Japan aren't getting married anymore?
No, that's the whole Grass Boys movement, I think it's called.
I have no idea what that is.
That's a whole other topic.
Getting a lot of good material for this season.
See, now it's gonna bug me. I'm gonna have to look it up. I think it's like grass men, grass eaters, or herbivore men. It's not talked about so much. I guess I should say what it is. And essentially, they're mostly young men that have been raised in Japan and are Japanese and raised in Japan, as one tends to go over there. And they're kind of looking around at the, this is what you do. This is how we live. This is, you get this kind of job. You're going to get married. We're going to say who it is, all this stuff. And literally they just go, you know what? Fuck it. We don't care anymore. We're done. And they just go and live their own lives. And in a lot of ways, they don't really even care about getting jobs. They don't care about any kind of romance or dating. They just we just want to be alive and exist and not have to be at the whim of the entire culture.
So is it like a less toxic version of the incel culture we have in the West now?
From what I've seen of it, yeah, these aren't really toxic people at all. They're just people that have been, and I could be wrong, but from what I've seen and read about, these are people that literally have been told their entire lives, you fit in this scope right here and you must do this.
Become a salary man in Japan and just do that for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
I thought Japan's changing a little bit on that front.
It's all changing. It's going to be a different world here. Motorcycle in like 20 years.
That's really interesting. Japan is getting more and more Western. And Russia's invading the Ukraine. Who knows what the world will be like in 20 years?
Yeah, might not even be here.
I'd like to think that we will. I'd like to not be dead.
I hate to have to do these podcast interviews, over a couple of rocks.
Yeah. Well, if we're all dead, or if the society is gone, civilization's gone, I don't think podcasts would exist anymore.
I mean, the podcast just went really dark.
No, so yeah, we did go pretty dark. Whoopsie.
Let's talk about porn again.
Yeah, let's go back to the porn.
Porn, yes.
That's what the internet's for. So is this bigger than AAA?
It could be, but it isn't. Which is, there's so many places to go from that. I mean, it could be, but it isn't, and a lot of that is because there's still this cultural thing where people think, oh, porn is bad, and there's a lot of people that still go out there, and I keep seeing the argument of, porn is anti-woman and everything, but then I notice that the same people making these arguments tend to be insane and things like that. And then you talk to the actual sex workers, actual female sex workers, they're like, yeah, this is all about women being in control, so your argument kind of holds no water.
When I listen to people who talk about women or everyone who does sex work, whether it be porn or prostitution or whatever, it always puzzles me because they are always speaking on behalf of the people who are doing it, saying that they don't like doing this, it's terrible, it's abusive, but it's never. And often when I hear interviews with people who actually do it, they all love it, and some of them don't, but obvioally it's not going to be it's not going to be true of everything, and we'll probably get so hated on this podcast, but that's great. We're going to say something problematic, I'm sure. Oh, nice. Well, it's a good way to premiere our second season then. So how much of this overlaps then with mainstream or indie gaming? Like, do we see a lot of, are there mainstream companies like, say, EA, who have a porn subdivision that nobody knows about that are making these games?
Not that I have seen. No, they try and keep it. They won't go anywhere near that. The companies that do it are well, I say that, but then I remember some of the more risque dating games that have been done. Like on the 3DS, there's one when you actually had to touch women with a stylus, and that was by one of the big companies. I don't remember which one.
Oh, you had to touch them in their places, I assume.
I think so. 3DS touch girl stylus game.
So what happens when you poke them in the eye?
If you ever want to feel up girls using the 3DS, here's your chance. What is the name of this game?
That's the pitch.
No, I'm looking at the. Oh god, this is a totally different game. This is an RPG called Ages of Amazons by Arc System Works, and they'll get the chance to use Factor Liberation Mode, which involves rubbing scantily clad rival girls after you've defeated them using the 3DS touchscreen. So that's not even the game I'm thinking of, but hey, look, Arc did one.
Huh. How do these guys not get like canceled? Because I imagine a lot of people would find that offensive.
Well, first, I'm reading mynintendonews.com, so I'm not just stealing people's content. I don't think they get canceled because there's no popular reason to cancel them. A lot of people who do get canceled, there's a popular reason to do so.
I guess that makes sense, yeah. So there is some, I guess you call it softcore porn that's already kind of broached a little bit in the AAA arena.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that would in a way be one, because I know it's not gonna be hardcore on 3DS. But even the Switch, has a bunch of softcore porn games and stuff.
Well, that's all the romancing, like not the romancing saga, sorry, that's definitely not porn, but the dating sims where they're just basically graphic novels, and there's very endowed women who tend to appear on all the title cards for those games.
Yeah, and I've never wanted to spend like the 35 cents or whatever to spend the time playing one of those, because they look kind of trash too.
There's so many on the Switch. Like I see like them every month when there's new releases, there's like 3 of them or 4 of them that are out. It's like, it's crazy.
But you know what I would like to see? I might be changing the topic here for a second. So let's finish what you wanted to say. And then
go for it.
So let's go back to Steam for a second. And I'm actually going to open my Steam here because I have a bunch of these games bookmarked. There have been a lot of really great indies. There's actually a strong and growing indie scene in making like really, really solid porn games. And one of the Discord groups I'm in, they're always sharing them. And we're always talking about them. And these are damn solid games. Trying to see the one we were recently talking about. Well, there's actually a music game called Spunk Stock. And it's literally not even joking, it is a DDR style music game with fucking. So there's that one, but the one I really wanted to share here, because it is fantastic, and I'd probably recommend tagging them maybe in this podcast afterwards. Let me find it. Is this it?
I think people are going to get the wrong idea what kind of game Kids of Karendow is going to be, but that's fine.
It's very possible.
So Gary, should we drop some more naked pixel people for Karendow that are gonna bone?
So you don't want to do a full-on sex scene, do you?
No. I do know if we make Kids of Karendow a porn game, we cross into a different arena, and I don't think I want to do that.
Especially with more kids. I mean, you might want to call it Adults of Karendow.
Yes.
The subset.
But then we lose the alliteration.
Mm-hmm. So I just sent you a link to one of the game I'm really thinking of. And just because, I mean, there's a lot of games like this we could talk about, but I want to talk about this one right now because it's a good example of these kind of games. It's called Flipwitch, Forbidden Sex Hex. And it is a really well done Metroidvania style game with like full RPG and JRPG stuff. and a lot of the gameplay is actually involves fucking. And I've seen games like this where you actually like fuck characters to take their powers and stuff. And if you click through the pictures here, which I'd say maybe don't do it on the stream, because there's definitely some yeah, that dude's getting a blowjob right there by an elf, or no, or a goblin. That's a goblin blowy. But yeah, it's a, I mean, this fucking looks like a Metroidvania, like a Castlevania game from the Super Nintendo days or something, probably even more detailed.
I'm looking at an animated GIF right now. There's a lot of bouncing going on.
Yeah, I just see the bouncy boobs on the animated GIF.
Yeah,
I haven't dug into the. I haven't gone to the store page yet.
it's a bit hard to get past that one. So,
Yeah.
Wait, it's a bit harder.
but yeah,
Sorry,
so
I have to do my one-liners.
Bada boom.
but yeah, this is a game that I honestly really want to get because it looks like it has a lot of content and it's a sex game, which is great, but it's way more than just a sex game. It's got like actual solid combat and some other stuff in there, and story and sex scenes, and it's a great example, I think, of what is being worked on out there. Let me share their Twitch page or just a Twitter page with you also, in case you want to link to them, so we're talking about them. But on their Twitter, they also usually have GIFs and things.
Is their Twitter account safe for work?
Absolutely not.
Okay, I didn't think it would be.
I guess you really can't share it then. I mean like here's a like a demon girl flying up and down. As she flies up, the boobs go down. And
I wonder if we'll get flagged by YouTube for inappropriate content, but we haven't shown anything, so we're probably okay. We're just talking about it.
Yeah, we're just talking. From what I've seen, talking doesn't get you in too much trouble.
We haven't said any problematic ideas yet.
Not yet.
No wrong speak.
I have a feeling as the seasons go on, Blair, that we might.
Oh my God! Excuse me.
More
Bless you.
risque topics.
Oh my God! It's a cat girl, and she's like on all fours, and she like kind of bounces up and down. Her boobs scrape against the ground every time she does, and it's so cat-like.
So I gotta wonder who animates this stuff. Like, this goes back to the shame thing I brought up earlier. I mean, they obviously want to do good work, but do they then blush after they see anyone interact with their work? Are they like, I made a naked kitty booby animation?
No, I mean it's what they enjoy doing. It's their passion. They enjoy showing for entertainment. So when people see it, they tend to really like it. It's their, because people are enjoying the entertainment they've created.
So do we have sales numbers on like how much some of these games sell? I'm getting really intrigued here. Is this a missed opportunity potentially?
I mean, that's why I've always wanted to start a porn game company. But I don't think the sales are like super massive, but a lot of that is because they're not allowed to get the marketing that other games would get. Because most places just literally won't have it.
Wouldn't advertise, yeah.
Yeah, because they're gonna be like, oh, think about the children, which
All right, man. We are going along here. So I wanted to share some research that I did.
Sure.
I'm going to share my screen in just a second.
Oh God, did you find my nudes? They're not that hard to find.
No, I am not sharing any nudes. And I better not share the Steam page either. So I'm going to close that first.
You can send it to me over Discord.
Oh, no, I don't think I'm going to do that. All right. So here's some research that I did. People who watch porn and people who play video games.
That looks accurate.
Yeah, I figured. So it's a great audience to go for when you're making games, is people who watch porn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I had to be stupid. That's the only thing I wanted to share. I thought it'd be funny.
I mean, that's good research, though.
Is that a Venn diagram or just a big yellow dot?
It's both.
So again, they always show those Venn diagrams of Dungeons and Dragons players. It's like Dungeons and Dragons players and people who like kinky fucking.
Is that true? I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
maybe
true.
a little
Just
bit
gonna have to
true.
look it up now, Blair.
Look into your heart. Blair.
Well, I played
Look deep
Dungeons and
inside,
Dragons,
maybe in the
so
pants.
I don't want to admit much publicly here. So I'm just going to keep my mouth shut because I don't want to edit this thing anymore.
You do you.
What about you,
I'm being
Gary?
Gary too.
Play Dungeons and Dragons?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Gary.
played at your house actually.
That just makes things sound even worse.
I know. I did that on purpose.